We're going to try and run through the 3-year-olds quick. Not a whole lot of changes here for the 3-year-olds. You guys know what's going on. There will be some updates. And we'll run through them right now. Admiral Dio, I believe, will probably school this week. Now, keep in mind, he is 3, but he's never seen the gate in his life, right? This horse was bought in a very odd situation. And although he's a good-looking horse and will be fine and looks like a big horse, still very green. And his gate for the first time, he'll see that this week, I believe. Urson, man, he's racing great. I know Urson, as good as he is, put me in a very tough predicament recently. It looks like he is going to be a very deep contender in that top division in Kentucky. The problem is it's raced at the exact same time almost as the Little Brown Jug. And here for 2 years we've been waiting to race this guy, hoping he was good enough to race in the Jug. It turned out he certainly looked like he was going to be. Took a mark of 50 and won on a 5/8 twice, I believe. Has done great things in Kentucky, but not racing against Nijinsky and legendary Hanover, and that's who's going to be waiting for you at the Little Brown Jug. Anytime our clients get upset over something like this, it does bother me because I've been in your shoes. I walked in your shoes. I know how you feel, and it's upsetting to me. But I think if we reciprocate that and walk in your partner's shoes, or walk in our shoes, or go ahead and put our shoes on, you'd see where I was coming from. So as of right now, he's more likely to race in Kentucky than he would in the Little Brown Jug. We'll see how that plays out in the very near future for him. Casanova Hall, I thought by math, for 2 weeks I preached about it. Don't worry, it's frustrating, but we'll get him squared away, and the long game is still we're eligible for the Stallion final. Kind of. We are eligible, but he has to do well in the qualifier on Tuesday. He's got to qualify. It's 47 days. It was not 45. Under double and triple checking, we realized that it was not 45 days. It was 47 days to his entry date, which makes him ineligible unless he's qualified. He has to qualify on Tuesday. So hopefully I can get him qualified on Tuesday. I'm going to do my best. Chime Bell races were canceled the other day. Trained her up again. I was really happy with what I saw from this filly training. Happy with her. She's a likable horse. Don't talk about Bruno. He's been racing better of late. Him and George of the Jungle raced decent the other night. Drebin raced fantastic. Dead heated. First over, dead heated. 55 and 1. He probably tried 55 and 1. He was sort of ahead behind. Horse raced great and has been racing great. It's going to turn into a nice horse towards the end of the year. After that, I have no idea. But right now, he's racing very, very good. I know once I look at his schedule, I paid a lot of them into those Indiana series at the end of the season. So he'd be a horse he would love to race in Indiana. If we could really drill down on him and, light a fire under Drebin over the next month, I think we could have a pretty useful horse towards the end of the season also. Flash Fly is ready to go. She'll be entered this week at the Meadows. George of the Jungle, as I said, continues to race pretty good. I've been happy with George. What's this guy doing? I've been happy with George at times and disappointed other times. So hopefully he races good this week and continues to march forward. Gypsy Hill is this week's point of contention. We could race him in the Sire Stakes this week with a hope that 3, maybe 4 others do the same, and if they do, that would leave enough room for a consolation, which would be perfect. If we don't, and he makes it in the final, we get to race for $400,000. Now, a 4th in the final, going for $400,000, obviously would be somewhere around 8%, would be somewhere around $30,000. Even a 5th would be around 20, give or take, which would be more than finishing 2nd in the Buckeye final. Not the end of the world. And truthfully speaking, there's some horses in the Buckeye final that are going to be tough. Be tough horses to beat. Irresistible Sun is one of them. Now, my only argument is we race them both in the elimination to hope to fill a consolation. That's cool, but then we can't race Irresistible Sun in Jug Week in the Buckeye. We don't need the Buckeye points with either of them, so we're trying to figure out the best path forward. It would be great if they both could race in the Buckeye, both race in the consolation. That'd be great. The last thing I want to see happen is to race Irresistible Sun in the Sire Stakes elimination and make the final. Because I truly believe if he's on his game, he's the best horse in Ohio. Him or the Tom Swifty horse, the best two horses in Ohio. Now, he beat us the other night, but Irresistible Sun was not good the other night. When he's on his game, I don't think Tom Swifty can beat him. But listen, it's all about that day and the timing. So, sure he can. Hallie in the Clouds will come back in this week. We'll start her back up. She's not getting a ton of time off, nor did she deserve to get a ton of time off. What she deserves to do is get back to work, and that's exactly what's going to happen this week. She's coming back in. I'm Fancy Like is racing Tuesday. Pick to win in Yonkers from the inside. It may be our last start with her. That is a straight claimer. But it was our best option for I'm Fancy Like, so we'll see what happens on Tuesday. My brother Mark is driving her from the rail. I suspect she'd probably find the front end if I was to guess. Insider trading, we're going to get her qualified. She scored 58 or 59 the other day. I thought she looked really, really good. Much better. And as expected. So I'm happy. I was happy with what I saw from insider trading. Irresistible Sun was not great the other day. One of the rarest bad miles from him. He usually always puts forth a very good effort. There was nothing found under scope, but we have drawn his blood, and I can almost guarantee you there'll be something found in his blood for sure. Nothing serious. It wasn't like he was disgustingly bad. He was just quite a bit softer than we expected him to be. Lover's Play was a winner last week. Again, there's no rush with her. She can only win her way through those classes once, and we are going to breed her next year. I know a lot of our clients said, well, maybe we'll put her in the sale. Maybe she's staying with us. She will be bred next spring, and that is what is going to take place with Lover's Play. I love this filly. You can't not love her heart and determination. In a nice gait, was one of our nicer horses training down, and then had all that cut short by a freak injury, made it all the way back to the track, and is doing the best she can every time she goes on the track. Just a very, very likable animal. Love and Affection raced great, just beat at the wire, then they canceled the races, and then somehow she didn't get drawn back in. So she's going to have to miss a week. She's in. No, she's not in. She's going to be entered for Saturday at Northfield Park. Yes. Mel Gibbswan was pretty much ready to go, and his leg got a little bit of heat in it again, so I said to Stacy, just do what's best for Mel Gibbswan. There's no rush. He's ready when he's ready. She said, well, he's ready right now, but. I said, well, the but is the problem. You can't rush something like this. We all know that. Anybody out there that's my partner that has any knowledge of horse racing, you know what happens when you rush injuries. Same as you do if you're a human. Pay the price later on. La Dorraine has qualified. She'll race this week also. Really happy with the way she qualified. Lonely Lakewood is in to go on Wednesday evening. We'll see how he races. Those were horses were before Lover's Play and Love and Affection. I jumped right over them. Didn't even notice I did that. Memory and Imagination will be in to go. He races in the Sire Stakes Consolation this week. I think it's in Philly, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Pennsylvania finals this week. So we have the Trot and Colt. What the hell is wrong with me? Why can I never remember his name? Arrowhead Hanover. Arrowhead Hanover is going to race this week in the finals. Time is on my side. It's going to be in the finals. We have consolations for Tenacious Hanover. We have consolation for Memory and Imagination. We have a Buckeye final, hopefully, for Casanova Hall. So we have at least 5 finals to race in this week, or consolations, what have you, in Pennsylvania. So it should be a good week for us. Militant raced amazing the other day, trot 53 flat. I would never believe this horse would trot 53 as a 3-year-old. What an amazing mile that is, and it just goes to show you how much he's maturing, both physically and mentally as a racehorse. Mounds for All is going to get his crack at them this fall. I think this winter we'll let that foot heal up good. We'll start jogging him probably this week, or at least put him in the water treadmill to the aqua treadmill to get him some stamina up, see how he's walking, see how he's moving, put a bar shoe on him and start jogging him. Pickpocket, I'm just barely in the mood and ready to start talking about the entire situation. He trained great on Friday. He'll train great again this week. We'll qualify him Tuesday, and then what happens after that, we'll see. Prince Charmer, we sold Prince Charmer. This is how bad it was for Ron Burke's stable. They literally bought Prince Charmer to fill the sire stakes because it didn't fill last time. It's the only place I've ever seen where if you enter in a stake race, you've paid to race in. And you can be sure that rule will be changed this year. It's never happened before. But that's how dominant Spazzano and Burke's horse, Tennessee Tom, have been. No one wants to race against them. 4 horses entered, and the rule is they have to have at least 5 to go. So they've been running around trying to figure out how to do that. The best way they could do it is to buy an Ohio bred to make sure they could fill it. And they couldn't really find one that made sense. They made us a more than fair offer for Prince Charmer, and we took it. So, not the first 3-year-old I thought we'd be moving out by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I like Prince Charmer. I touted him. I think there's a better horse in there. Now, a sire stake horse? No, I don't think that. But I think he could be a good horse. And this is all stemming from that sale that didn't go through of Victory Blue Chip and Lonely Lakewood. We filled the class, we have 5 for that division. We sold them at the right time. The problem was they didn't sell. That's the way it is. Purple People Eater, another filly. She missed out this week because that class is full. So Prince Charmer leaving does open up some options for her too. Coming off a bit of a rough week where she get chewed up a little bit in that Buckeye. It's not the end of the world that she had a week off, I suppose, anyway. Now, I'm not familiar with this particular road coming in from Michigan. The I-80 East is what I'm looking for. Okay, so that's what we'll be on the lookout for. Ready for landing. We'll bring him back in the end of this week, start him back up. It's my full intention, qualify him without hobbles on and continue on his racing season in that manner. I think there's a nice horse in there. I think he's got some speed and some talent. If he cools down like he did for the last few starts before he made those 2 breaks, if he cools down and behaves, I think this is easily a horse you could see show up back at Mohawk or at the Meadowlands this winter potentially, but he still has to come forward a little bit yet. Well, we get 25 miles on this highway. No problem at all. Really don't care. It looked like she was a winner the other day, and James kind of got his wheel in behind. I don't know who was 3 wide, and I don't really know what happened, but it looked like she was a winner, and then she kind of softened and finished 4th all of a sudden. She will get there. She will win that class. As I said to James, I'd love to see a mark of 55 or 56 on this filly because she is worth quite a bit of money as a broodmare. As a racehorse, she just isn't. She's just an okay horse. Sunset Acres Girl, another just an okay horse. When she's done in Michigan, she'll race in the Maiden, because those are all fair races. She'll race in the Maiden at Northfield, and we probably won't keep her very long after that. Decent horse. Somebody will like her and do some good with her, but for us, coming to the end of the Michigan Road with Sunset Acres Girl. Sweeney, he was good the other day, but not really seaworthy, right? Not really good enough to say, all right, now we're putting him in. He's there. I trained him in 2-4. He needs to be a little bit more comfortable than I found him the other day. Made a few little shoeing changes on Sweeney, which we're going to work on. The veterinarian did some work on him, so we'll see how all this plays out as we move into the fall with our boy Sweeney. Tenacious Hanover. Nice horse. A lot of people saying, why wasn't he in the other day? He wasn't in because he had raced since July 31st. We didn't get him dropped off until the Monday of that week, and I just did not feel comfortable jogging him one day, training him one day, and putting him in with Buckeye horse, Stallion Series horse. It just made no sense because he couldn't make the Stallion Series final, and he's already guaranteed a berth in the consolation. What are we even talking about? No big deal at all. So Tenacious Hanover will race this week in the Buckeye. No, in the Sire Stakes consolation. My apologies. Time is on my side. We'll race in the Sire Stakes final. He needed to be probably 1, 2, maybe 3 to get in. and secured a victory. Man, he's just been such a hard-nosed competitor all year long, and really done some great things. Just a really, really nice horse to be around. So happy for Tim, and Tim and Tim's wife love this horse. Sophie loves this horse, so I'm happy for them too. And he's growing on me, I can tell you that. I like him a lot also. Victory Blue Chip will race this week. You don't want to buy him? Fine, don't buy him. We'll just continue to race him until somebody does. It's a nice horse, not going to hurt anybody. Watch Your Mouth, a better third the other day, so I'm happy to see that. Brace, no, can't jump over Widespread Panic. He's our last horse. Widespread Panic trading good the other day. We'll be heading to the Meadows to race on Wednesday from Post 8, which truthfully not the worst place for him to leave. So with that, I'll let you go. We're going to finish our videos with our 2-year-olds. I'll be right to them in just a second.